5 policemen interdicted for extortion. Information reaching mynewsgh.com is that 5 policemen have been interdicted for extorting money from a civilian. According to information available to this website, the victim of the extortion has been identified as Tamimu, aged 31 and unemployed. Tamimu on January 2nd, 2022 was driving a DV-plated Toyota Corolla saloon car belonging to his friend Inketia Frank from Enum Apapam to Asamankese to buy a tire for his private vehicle. On reaching Sukuntu, which is close to Asamankese, he met a 5-man team of police officers from the National Highway Patrol on board a white pickup number GP2517. He claimed he was searched, and one of them informed him that they have found a wrap of suspected Indian hemp on the back seat. Tamimu was subsequently arrested and assaulted, and it took a friend called Abu, who happened to chance upon the scene, to plead on his behalf. Abu is said to have paid an amount of 500 Ghana cedis before his friend was released by the police. When a team from the Asamankese Divisional Command, led by the Commander-Chief Superintendent, Mr. Felix Apedo, accompanied by officers, accompanied his divisional crime officer, ASP Mr. C.T. Apronti, questioned the policemen involved, denied planting the suspected Indian hemp on the complaints. They, however, admitted collecting 450 Ghana cedis from the victim through his friend Abu before releasing him. The police administration has therefore interdicted the officers, including Chief Inspector William Terrier, Sergeant Ibrahim Idi, Sergeant Richard Otu, Sergeant Samuel Kuma, and Corporal Richard Kana. 24-year-old man remanded for allegedly sodomizing 15-year-old boy. The Kumasi Circuit Court has remanded a 24-year-old man into police custody for allegedly defiling a 15-year-old boy. Following a report by the father of the 15-year-old, police proceeded to the residence of the accused, Daniel Odame, at Manso on 26 December, where they allegedly saw him helping Francis Ahin have an unnatural carnal knowledge with a 15-year-old boy. The two, Daniel Odame and Francis Ahin, were then arrested. Daniel Odame has been charged with defilement and aiding and abetting unnatural carnal knowledge. During the court hearing on Wednesday, January 5th, 2022, the court presided over by her ladyship, Gloria Mensa Bonsu, remanded Daniel Odame into police custody for allegedly sodomizing the 15-year-old boy. Francis Ahin has, however, been granted a 50,000 Ghana cedis bail with 2 sureties, one to be justified. 25-bed capacity hospital to curtail maternal and neonatal mortality, commissioned at Bongoso. A 25-bed capacity hospital has been commissioned at Bongoso in the Bongo district of the Upper East region. The hospital, which is known as Agri Clinic, was constructed at the cost of 10 million Ghana cedis has an outpatient department, 4 consulting rooms, pharmacy units, an injection room, ICT, and general administration units, a doctor's bed resting room, 3 wards, and 2 washrooms. The aim of the facility is to increase and provide access to effective and quality healthcare for the community. In an interview at Bongoso, the executive officer, Emmanuel Ewe Andongo, indicated that the facility is the brainchild of the Savannah Cultural Foundation, a local organization that seeks to conserve and promote indigenous knowledge through active participation of rural people in identifying and preserving their political, cultural, and indigenous practices in livelihood security in northern Ghana. Mr. Adongo stated that the Upper East region contributes greatly to maternal and neonatal mortality in Ghana, and improving this sad situation where a mother in an attempt to give birth loses a life necessitated the construction of the hospital as a contribution to addressing the rather negative socio-economic development indices. Fortunately, he added that there are specialist doctors from home and in the diaspora, such as the United States of America, Germany, and Ukraine, collaborating in the development agenda of a specialist hospital, a research center, teaching hospital, and the establishment of a nurses and midwifery training school. All these individuals are contributing immensely to the realization of these development agendas. The medical director of the Ewe Clinic, Dr. Kofi Asari Ansah, stated that the facility is a dream come true after years of hard work, determination, perseverance, and focus, more especially in achieving this noble goal of providing healthcare for all ages to the people of Bongoso and Ghana at large. Dr. Asari Ansah said even though the project is 5% complete, it is his prayer that the vision of the facility will come to fruition in the coming years. The official consular of Ghana to Ukraine and a board member of a Ray Clinic, Dr. Albert Kitcher, expressed joy that the facility stands for excellence and for well-being in governing diversity of experience from all facets of the health sector to propel to deliver the health needs of the people. 2022 is a year of economic misery at Folsom. The ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, Dr. Castle Attofolson, says Ghanaians would have to brace themselves up for more economic difficulties this year, 2022. In a 6 bullet point post on Facebook, Dr. Folson, who is also the Member of Parliament for the Ejumako Enyan Isiam constituency, among other things, said, folks, we need to brace up for more hardship this year. He predicted that there would be at least 30% increase in general goods, while the Ghanaian cedi will hit 7 cedis to a dollar by the end of the year 2022. Fuel prices, he said, are set to go up by 18 pesos this week and more likely to go up again on account of a weak cedi. He noted that there will be He noted that there will be multiplicity of taxes and levies to take effect by the end of January 2022. He further added that interest rates are likely to go up again while the government will be borrowing heavily from the domestic market since the Eurobond market is close to Ghana for at least the first half of 2022. Akufo-Addo announces another year of roads. Nana Akufo-Addo has declared 2022 yet another year of roads. He announced the government will work on new major road projects across the country and complete some others which are not advanced and complete some others which are at advanced stages of completion. Roads, and more roads is the year of roads, Akufo-Addo announced Wednesday, January 5th on his Twitter handle. One of the artworks accompanying the tweet reads, "The government of Ghana will start on 9 new major road projects in parts of the country this year, 2022, and complete many others that are at advanced stage, advanced stages of completion." The tweet also comes with another artwork highlighting what is to be expected: 9 highways, 7 bridges, and 5 interchanges. Locations and other details of these projects have, however, not been disclosed. In December 2019, the president announced that 2020 would be a year of roads. "Next year is the year we will adopt as the year of roads," he said in a press encounter. In January last year, he again declared 2021 as the second year of roads. Our roads are being constructed at a much faster pace than before. And yes, I acknowledge that there are still many more kilometers to construct. We defined last year as the year of roads. This year, 2021, will be the second year of roads. As we continue on in our focus of dealing with the deficits in road infrastructure, he stated, this will be the third year of road to have been announced by Akufo-Addo. Ambassador Boateng leads donation to disabled community. Ambassador Edward Boateng, former Ghanaian ambassador to China, in partnership with the Ghana Association of Chinese Societies and Ghana Chinese Chamber of Commerce, have donated 30 wheelchairs, 30 armpit clutches, 30 elbow crutches, and 20 walking sticks to the Disabled Association of Ashanti Region. The donation aims at celebrating New Year with the less privileged, while indulging all Ghanaians to look beyond their immediate environments, families, and comfort zones. Presenting the items to the association, Ambassador Boateng said, "For the second year running, I have chosen to celebrate the New Year with the Physically Challenged Association of Ashanti Region. As part of this year's celebration, I have partnered with the Ghana Association of Chinese Societies and the Ghana Chinese Chamber of Commerce to put smiles on the faces of the members of the community." Ambassador Boateng said as the 2022 journey starts, members of the association should continue to hold steadfast to the Ghanaian society's ideals of love, respect, honor, and trust. These are the ideas with which we can attain the development we all yearn for. It is never too late to aim for such, and I admonish each and every one of us to open themselves up to these ideals and together build a Ghana beyond aid. The president of the Ghana Association of Chinese Societies and Ghanaian Chinese Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Tang Hong, said the physically challenged in society should not only be the charge of government, but also that of all well-meaning members of society. After all, any one of us could find ourselves in this state one day. I am therefore writing on these words to charge and challenge other individuals, organizations, and associations to join us in this noble task of celebrating the new year with the physically challenged and less privileged in our society. Receiving the items, the president of the Disabled Association of the Ashanti region expressed his gratitude, saying, "We thank you for coming aboard this noble charge. We hope in subsequent years we shall do it even bigger than we have done today." Ashanti region disgraced for voting the MPP into power, Joseph Yamin. Former Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports under the erstwhile NDC administration, Joseph Yamin, says the natives of the Ashanti region, the stronghold of the ruling New Patriotic Party, are embarrassed for voting the party in the 2020 general election. According to him, the level of neglect and underdevelopment suffered by the Ashanti region has left natives in disbelief and regret. If you compare votes the NDC had in the Ashanti region to that of NPP, you will expect them to see rapid growth and development under the NPP. But that is not the case. The erstwhile NDC administration contributed immensely to the development of the region as compared to the ruling NPP. Natives of the Ashanti region who voted for the NPP feel disgraced and embarrassed all the time. Any Ashanti who campaigned and called on Ghanaians to vote the NPP to power are shy and can't even lift their heads in public. In an interview on Happy 98.9 FM's Epahuadabe political talk show with Sifa Dankwa, Joseph Yamin conceded that it is not enough for Ashantis to even pray for forgiveness for voting the MPP into power and are now suffering. Former Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports further indicated that the ruling government has also failed to construct any roads for the region and delayed completion of projects started by the NDC government, even abandoning some. The Bantamahine, Balfour Owusu Amankwetia the Sixth, is worried about the developmental state of the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. In an interaction with the media, the influential sub-chief has subsequently pleaded with the government to give more attention to the state of Ghana's second largest city. According to reports, the Bantamahine said Kumasi was gradually becoming a village. Supporting this statement, Joseph Yamin stated that the MPP has virtually done nothing for the Ashanti region. If there is a yardstick for governance, then it should be what they do for their strongholds. And the NPP has done nothing for the Ashanti region. Charles suspends decision to shut down schools. Charles bemoans the erratic supply of food. Nat decries the poor working conditions of teachers in the country. The Conference of Assisted Senior High Schools has stated that they have decided to go with the roadmap agreed on with the Ministry of Education to put on hold their threat to shut down schools. In a memo to its members, Charles bemoaned the erratic supply of food and release of funds to implement the free senior high school policy. They had earlier warned that schools will not be reopened to first and second year students expected to return on Wednesday. According to a Joy News report, food has been supplied to the schools, but funds have yet to hit their bank accounts. National President of Charles, National President of CHAS, Alhaji Yakubu Abubakar, in an interview with Joy News said, authorities have shown concern, and as I speak to you, they've started the distribution of food to various schools. And due to the several holidays that we had, the money could not be worked on. But they have assured us that today monies would hit our accounts. So tomorrow we can receive the students in our schools, he stated. However, Charles says if the agreed roadmap is not complied with, the heads may be forced to withdraw their services. In the meeting we had with the management, they tried to come out with a roadmap that will guide all these activities so that we will not have challenges again. We are only praying that we will go by the roadmaps, he told Joy News. Mr. Yakubu Abubakar said they have faith in the leadership, adding that the association hopes that their concerns will be addressed. Meanwhile, the Ghana National Association of Teachers has lamented the poor working conditions of teachers in the country. President of NAT, Philippa Larson, in her address at the 90th anniversary of the association, said the government must, as a matter of urgency, address the concerns of teachers to ensure industrial harmony. We have challenges as an association. These include lack of affordable housing scheme for our members, poor and unattractive working and living conditions of our teachers, no female participation in decision making in the association, weak flow of information to the grassroots of the association, and weak monitoring and evaluation at all the levels of the association. In this 21st century, NATS can remain relevant and vibrant by being productive in responding to its trade union roles, professional development roles, membership education roles, as well as the provision of sustainable welfare services for its members, Mrs. Larson noted. Churches must register at Registrar General's Department as a way of ensuring sanity, MP. As a way of ensuring sanity, churches must be registered at the Registrar General's Department to ensure proper regulation. Member of Parliament for Lingo Pram, Samuel Nati George has said. He added that the mandate of regulating the churches should be placed with the umbrella bodies such as the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, the Christian Council of Ghana, and the National Association of Charismatic and Christian Churches. Giving his perspectives on the directive given by the police against the publication of negative prophecies. Sam George said in a tweet that, as a way of bringing sanity, we can start by ensuring all churches are properly registered with the Registrar General. As part of their regularization process, would be evidence of membership of one of the recognized Christian organizations like GPCC, NACCC, CCG, etc. Let us place the mandate of the regulation with the umbrella bodies and empower them to effect the sanctions in conjunction with the Ministry of Chieftaincies and religious affairs. As for those saying prophecies is bad, yet you are checking your horoscopes and reading your palms or visiting that marabouts or fetish priest, you are as guilty as the prophets you criticize. The police had cautioned religious leaders in Ghana to be measured in their utterances, particularly the way they communicate prophecies ahead of New Year Eve services. We want to caution that under Ghanaian law, it is a crime for a person to publish or reproduce a statement, rumor, or report which is likely to cause fear and alarm to the public or to disturb the public peace, where that person has no evidence to prove that the statement, rumor, or report is true. The police warned in a statement issued on Monday, December 27, 2021. It is also a crime for a person, by means of electronic communication service, to knowingly send a communication that is false or misleading and likely to prejudice the efficiency of life-saving service or to endanger the safety of any person. The statement signed by Superintendent Alexander Obeng, the Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, added, a person found guilty under these laws could be liable to a term of imprisonment of up to 5 years. Friday's services across the nation was the first since Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu Dampare, took office. He had met religious leaders over prophecies deemed to cause fear and panic in the nation. That meeting was precipitated. That meeting was precipitated by a fake gun attack on popular musician Shatawale, who had later indicated he took that action as a result of a prophecy by the founder and leader of New Life Kingdom Chapel, Bishop Stephen Kwesi Appiah, on an Accra-based radio station before the Monday, October 18 incident. The man of God, popularly known as Jesus Ahofe, was arrested and later granted 100,000 Ghana cedis bail. The police admitted that they are not against prophecies, especially in a country where the centrality of God is in the lives of many. There should be no apprehensions, therefore, about undertaking the various activities. We ask only that everyone keeps within the law and is mindful of the welfare of each other. Cocoa carriers at Cocobot's KJB warehouse embark on sit-down strike. Cocoa carriers at Cocobot's main warehouse at KJB near Taprade, from where it hauls cocoa for export through the Taprade Harbour, have embarked on an indefinite sit-down strike. The headman for the cocoa carriers, Joseph Bordo, speaking to City News, said the indefinite strike is to demand 1 Ghana cedis instead of the 65 pesos they are giving per bag load. We have been calling for an increase in our allowances for a while now. Just last month, we were given assurances that our issue would be settled after a meeting they had. They returned after the meeting only to inform us that we they returned after the meeting only to inform us that they were going to add 3 pesos to the amount. Our job is not easy at all. They were expecting an additional 1 Ghana cedi. We have decided to lay down our tools till they come back with a better offer. Those were the words of the headman. Joseph Bordo also alleged that Cocoa Board does not pay their SNIT contributions. The leadership of this company has treated us unfairly for far too long. There are no provisions for safety, neither do they pay us nets. The working conditions here are terrible, he added. Dr. Dufour has what it takes to be president. Koku Amidobo, a former Deputy General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, Koku Anidoho, has said former Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Kwabena Dufour, has what it takes to be the presidential candidate of the NDC and also President of Ghana. In a tweet, Mr. Anidoho said he has what it takes. Happy New Year to you. Dr. Dufour had officially declared his intention to be president of Ghana. Although his party, the National Democratic Congress, is yet to open nominations for the presidential race ahead of the 2024 elections, the former governor of the Bank of Ghana, who was the finance minister under the Mills administration, said he would welcome a decision of the delegates of the NDC to make him the presidential candidate for the party in the next general elections. He said this in an interview with TV3's Roland Walker in Accra on Monday, November 29th. Roland told him that I saw a promo of you advocating for young people to get involved in the NDC and make sure that they also take part in the governance process. Is it that you have the presidential ambition at all? You want to become president of our republic? Dr. Dufour replied saying, I was the finance minister, so I was in politics, but we have not started talking about the NDC presidential race yet. If we get there and I am giving the nod, why not? Roland asked again that potentially and hypothetically, if we get elected as a presidential candidate, who ideally will fit the bill of becoming the vice presidential candidate. He replied, there are two people who are doing very well in politics. They are lawyers. Look at Bagban with over 30 years in politics. Look at this young man, Haruna. Any of them. If I have Haruna Idrisu or Bagban, any could be my running mates. They are hardworking, they are in politics, and they will complement me. Ex-military men butcher two people at Manso Abuaboso. Two people have been seriously injured after some suspected retired military men allegedly butchered them at Manso Abuaboso in the Amansia South district of the Ashanti region. The victims, according to the reports, were among youth in the community who were preventing the suspected military men from engaging in illegal mining in a forest reserve in the area. The military men, numbering about 8, according to some residents, stormed the community to assault their victims after youth in the area marched to the alleged illegal mining site to burn machines of the owner of the concession. The two victims, Godfred Akumasu, 35, an information center operator, and Owusu Kwejo, 30, a farmer who sustained machete wounds, have also been arrested by the Ashanti Regional Police Command. Speaking to Otek News, Kwame Ajeni Boateng, brother of the first victim, Mr. Akumasu Apia, disclosed that the 8 armed men who were in military accoutrement on Saturday, January 1st, 2022, arrested his brother while asleep and assaulted him in the process. My brother was not even part of the men who stormed the site to burn down the machines, yet he was arrested and beaten to a pulp by the suspected militiamen. The only crime he committed was that he used his information center to announce the missing of two of the men who went to the forest on the said day to prevent the activities of illegal miners in the forest, he added. The father of Kojo Owusu, who was also battered by the militiamen, Mr. Alaji, has expressed worry over how his son was brutally beaten. He has appealed to security officials in the region to look into the matter and bring the perpetrators to book. Meanwhile, the district chief executive for Amansia South, Honorable Clement Opoku has called for calm in the community. He assured that security in the district will not shield any individual who will engage in any illegalities in the district, including illegal mining. Expenditure on education increased by 95% in my time, said by the President of the Republic, Akufo-Addo. The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has said again, touted the achievements of his government in the educational sector. President Akufo-Addo has expenditure on education has been increased to 95% in his time as president of the country. So great has this government's commitment to education been that public expenditure on education has almost doubled from 20,700,000,000 cedis between 2013 and 2016, that is in the Mahama era, to 40,400,000,000 cedis between 2017 and 2020, that is in the Akufo-Addo era, representing an increase of some 95%. Addressing a gathering at the NAT Quadrennial Conference, President Akufo-Addo also noted that NAT is what it is today because of the work of its past and current membership and leadership. And he assured that under his administration, the work undertaken by the membership and leadership of the association will not be in vain. The president thus used the opportunity to thank all teachers in the country for the work they did and continue to do in ensuring that the education of Ghanaian children throughout the COVID-19 pandemic has not been truncated. Continuous assessment, the Basic Education Certificate Examination, and the West African Secondary School Certificate Examination have all been written by thousands and thousands of Ghanaians under your care and guidance in conditions of safety and orderliness and without incident. The nation is extremely appreciative of these acts of selflessness and patriotism, he said. According to President Akufo-Addo, his vision of a modern, competitive Ghanaian economy, spearheaded by indigenous entrepreneurs with productive employment for the great majority of its citizens, requires skilled economic actors. And to get there, the nation needs an educated workforce. Through the implementation of the free senior high school policy, we are ensuring that value is being added to the intellect of every Ghanaian child. This is our surest way of succeeding in adding value to the Ghanaian economy, thereby helping to create acceptable, well-paying jobs for the young people of our country, he said. The president continued, for us in Ghana, also to make a success of our nation, we must pay attention to teachers. It is only a group of well-trained and motivated teachers that can help deliver the educated and skilled workforce we require to transform our economy and nation. Outlining the many initiatives implemented by government since 2017, he stated that his government has restored since coming into power 5 years ago and continues to pay teacher training allowances, which were abolished by the previous administration. In addition to the yearly average increase in salaries over the last 5 years, my government is, for the first time in our nation's history, paying a professional allowance to teachers. We have abolished the 3 months pay policy for teachers. We have cleared the arrears, and promotions due teachers have also been effected, he said. He stressed that to prevent undue delays in the promotion of qualified teachers, government will, in 2022, improve on the conduct of the aptitude test instituted by the Ghana Education Service, leveraging on lessons learned from the one conducted in 2021. Flag raising ceremony to be held at UN headquarters to admit Ghana to Security Council. The flag raising ceremony will be held at the UN headquarters in New York today, Monday, January 4, 2022, to mark the admission of Ghana and other 4 countries to the UN Security Council as non-permanent members for 2 years. Ghana, Gabon, Brazil, United Arab Emirates, and Albania were elected in June by the General Assembly to sit on the Security Council as non-permanent members with effect from January 1st, 2022. It brings to 3 the number of African countries on the 15-member UN body, with Kenya already on the council since January 2021. The East African country's 2-year term expires at the end of December 2022. Ghana received the support of 185 out of 190 countries during the General Assembly votes, more than any of the 5 nations elected to the Council. According to the final tally, Gabon received 183 votes, Brazil 181 votes, United Arab Emirates 179, and Albania 175. The Security Council has 10 seats for temporary members, but 5 of the seats are permanently occupied and dominated by Russia, China, the US, Britain, and France, which hold the power of veto. The Council holds regular meetings to address threats to international peace and security and makes the ultimate decisions on resolutions to impose sanctions, authorize the use of military force, and launch peacekeeping missions. Some of the Council's priorities include hotspots such as Ethiopia and Afghanistan, as well as the long-standing Palestinian-Israeli conflict and Iran's nuclear program. A former AMA boss dead. A former mayor of Accra, Mr. Solomon Ofei-Darkon, has died. His son, Nidiodo Darkon, confirmed the news to journalists on Tuesday, January 4th, after a short illness at the Greater Accra. Solomon Ofei-Darkon served as AMA boss under the before administration from 2000 to 2003. Solomon Ofei-Darkon was born on 26 January 1936 and died at the age of 86 years. Prior to his appointment as the mayor, he had been the environmental program coordinator at the Borough of Hackney, London, UK. He joined Crompton Engineering and Planning Associates as a program coordinator in 1994. Honorable Ofeidakun was also a past president of the Ghana Amateur Boxing Association. Fred Blay cautions against divisiveness in Parliament, asks MPs to remain united. The national chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Fred Blay, is charging members of Parliament to maintain unity when debating issues in the House. Parliament began on a chaotic note in 2021 during the voting process to elect a new Speaker of Parliament and ended in chaos when another brawl broke out during a late night session to consider passing the electronic transactions levy under a certificate of urgency. Many Ghanaians have condemned these acts by the parliamentarians, with some describing them as shameful. Fred Blay, who was once a deputy speaker of the House, advised members of the House to strive to act together in the best interest of the country. I will blame Parliament for what they want to consider as their rights, duties, responsibilities, and the way they perceive it. It is for them to act together and give in a bit so they all work together because united we stand, divided we fall. As a country, if we look at what happened in Parliament, we realize that we are giving into wrong things due to the hung nature of the current Parliament. Members of the majority and minority sides of the eighth Parliament have had a number of disagreements in recent times. In some instances, some MPs have been captured engaging in fisticuffs. The most recent incident occurred on December 20th, 2021, which has been widely condemned by various groups. The Vice President, Dr. Mahama Baumia, has urged religious groups to support members of parliament in prayers to prevent instances where chaos erupts on the floor of the House. Speaking during 31st December Watch Night service at the St. Peter's Cathedral Minor Basilica at Roman Hill in Kumasi, the Vice President called on Ghanaians to pray for President Akufo-Addo for wisdom in order to help him govern the country to ensure development. Fuel prices will go up marginally at the pumps, MPA projects. The National Petroleum Authority is predicting a 1.65% and 1.06% in the prices of petrol and diesel, respectively. Speaking to CT News, the head of communications of NPA, Abdul Kudus Mohammed, said, indeed, there might be increase or adjustments at the pumps, mainly because there have been some slight increases in the price of fuel on the world market. And as we know, anything that happens on the world market directly affects us at the pump. As we speak, there has been a marginal increase in the price of petrol and diesel. So our projection is that there might be a slight adjustment at the pumps. Our projection is different from COPEX. We are anticipating that petrol should be going up by about 1.65% and diesel by about 1.06%. These projections are mainly based on the slight increases on the world market. The prices of petrol on the world market right before 25th of December went up by around 3.25%. Diesel also shot up by 2.09%. According to him, the MPA does not expect the wholesale transfer of that arrangement to the consumer. That is why our projection does not shift the chunk of the increment to them. We don't necessarily determine the prices, and so whatever happens on the world markets, the reviewed prices will be communicated to us by the OMCs, he added. Meanwhile, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers has predicted that prices of petrol and diesel may go up by 3.7% and 2.5% respectively in the first pricing window of January 2022. Global Peace Index. Ghana ranked first in West Africa, second in Africa, and 38th globally. Ghana has been ranked as the most peaceful country in West Africa and second in Africa after the Eastern African country, Mauritius. Globally, Ghana has been ranked 38th in the 2021 Global Peace Index. The Global Peace Index is composed of 23 qualitative and quantitative indicators from highly respected sources and now ranks 163 independent states and territories, covering over 99% of the world's population. The index gauges global peace using the broad themes: the level of safety and security in society, the extent of domestic or international conflict, and the degree of militarization. The most recent edition of the GPI found that over the past 10 years, the overall levels of peace have slightly deteriorated, with the level of political and civil unrest continuing to rise around the world. It is also it also drew on data from the Lloyd's Registry Foundation World Risk Pool to examine trends in perceptions of risk and safety prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. The 2021 Global Peace Index received a high level of domestic and international media coverage, as well as being the subject of a large number of launch events hosted around the globe. Reaching to the rank, President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, urged Ghanaians to maintain peace in the country. Let's continue to maintain the peace we have in Ghana, he tweeted Wednesday, January 5th. Government told that don't lie about NAPCO financing. Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, Ibrahim Ibrahim Mohammed Mutala, has said the government peddled falsehood about the financing arrangement for the Nation Builders Corps initiative. He described the financing claim by the government as a gargantuan lie. NAPCO was launched by President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo on Tuesday, 1st May 2018. Mr. Akufo-Addo, while launching the program, was confident that by the time NAPCO trainees exited scheme, their requisite work readiness skills and experience, often deemed a barrier to their employment as fresh graduates, would have been resolved. According to President Akufo-Addo, NAPCO will be the vehicle to deliver 100,000 jobs in 7 prioritized areas, defined as the following models: Educate Ghana, Heal Ghana, Feed Ghana, Revenue Ghana, Digitize Ghana, Enterprise Ghana, and Civic Ghana. Explaining the rationale for the establishment of the corps, President Akufo-Addo noted that the grim story of youth unemployment had been a tragic part of the lives of Ghanaians for far too long in Ghana. The situation, he said, was worsened by the ban placed on public sector employment by the International Monetary Fund at the time. I gave an indication that a new employment scheme will be launched to tackle the issue of the growing numbers of graduates exiting our tertiary institutions with no job placements in sight, he said. NAPCO's central focus, the president said, was create employment avenues and opportunities for young people who hold diplomas or degrees from accredited tertiary institutions, adding that NAPCO will enhance the dignity and self-esteem of our graduates and will also present them with the added benefits of efficiency and effectiveness in the delivery of some essential public services. But speaking on the Sunrise Show on 3FM with Alfred Okansi on Wednesday, January 5th, Murtala Ibrahim Mohammed, who is also a former Deputy Minister of Trade, indicated that they said they were providing 100,000 jobs. Just do the arithmetic and multiply 100,000 by 700 cities because we were told that each beneficiary was being paid 700 cities. 100,000 by 700 cities will give you 70 million a month. Multiply 70 million by 12. That is a year. That will give you 840 million. So you don't need Archimedes to rise from his tomb to tell you that they were lying to the people of this country. When I raised the issue, they gave a response. They said it would be taken care of in the mid-year budget for 2018. If salary alone, allowances alone of 100,000 within a year was going to cost the government some 840 million. Yet they had only 400 million in the budget. And that 400 million included the establishment of regional and district offices and the manpower and the logistics. Now, they said it will take care of it in the mid-year budget. That was the response. I challenge you to go and look at the mid-year budget for 2018 NAPCO was not there. So this has been the gargantuan lie told to the people of this country. Government extorting from travelers at Kotoka International Airport, Okujeto Ablakwa. North Tong MP Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa has accused the government of extorting monies from travelers entering Ghana through COVID-19 testing at Kotoka International Airport. According to him, the current cost being charged by Frontline Healthcare Service Limited for the test amounted to extortion because the price of the test has drastically reduced globally. One of the cardinal expectations I have for 2022 is a view shared by many, is that the extortion going on at the Kotoka International Airport by Frontline Healthcare Services Limited, which is fully supported by the Akufo-Addo administration, has extortion. That extortion must stop. Charging $50 for ECOWAS nationals and $150 for non-ECOWAS nationals have for one antigen test, not a PCR test, must stop, he said. All over the world, we are witnessing a drastic decline in the cost of these tests. But Ghana has been at this for almost 2 years, he added. The Member of Parliament further stated that the government had to put in measures to ensure that the exorbitant extortion stopped. He hinted that if the current charges were not reduced by February 2022, Parliament would take action. It is our expectation that latest by February, we should see a drastic review. If not, We will be compelled to take a series of actions to force the hand of government to stop this extortion at the airport, he said. The Ghana Revenue Authority defers implementation of benchmark values reversal to Thursday, January 6th. The Ghana Revenue Authority has deferred the implementation of the reversal of the benchmark values to Thursday, January 6th, 2022. This is to allow importers who got their duty bill before the initial implementation date, that is Tuesday, January 5th, 2022, to pay and clear their goods. The GRA's decision comes on the back of complaints by some freight forwarders about the fact that the new decision was being implemented with retrospective effect. Summer branch chairman of the Ghana Institute of Freight Forwarders, Johnny Mante, in an earlier interview with City News said, "We are at a loss. It is just confusion all over. I don't understand how you expect people to pay the duty, yet you are blocking them so they don't. I don't understand how you expect people to pay the duty, yet you are blocking them so that they pay more. What is the rush? Give enough information, let people prepare, and at a certain time, when people are aware, then you tell them what to anticipate. You can't give information on Friday night, and today you want people to adjust." Following the GRA's new directive to defer implementation by just a day, he said, while it is welcoming, the one-day window given is not adequate. He added that there is the need for the grace period for clearance of goods already in the system before January 4th to be extended. The one day is not enough, and it is never going to solve the problem we are talking about. We require an extended period, and customs needs to extend the time. We will continue to speak to customs about this. Johnny Mante, however, said his outfit will continue to engage with the relevant stakeholders, particularly the Customs Department of GRA, to resolve the issue. GUBA engages key stakeholders, Diaspora at maiden Diaspora conversations. The Diaspora Transition Network, an affiliate of GUBA Careers, has hosted major Ghanaian stakeholder institutions and diaspora community in the country on major dynamics to consider in successfully transitioning to Ghana for business and for permanent residency. The flagship event, dubbed the Diaspora Conversations, is a one-stop shop platform to equip diasporans with all there is to know to successfully move and settle and to do business in Ghana. Officials of key institutions, including the Office of the Diaspora Affairs at the Presidency, the Registrar General's Department, Lands Commission, Ghana Tourism Authority, Social Security, and National Insurance Trust, EcoBank, among others, participated in the event and engaged participants on the nitty-gritties of settling and doing business in the country. Some selected enterprises, which are owned and managed by Ghanaians from the diaspora, shared their experiences in a panel discussion on coming to Ghana and starting from scratch, leveraging on business opportunities in the country. The panel comprised Frederick Kobina Aqua, Director of Operations at Ekumfi Fruits and Juices, Cynthia Kweku, Founder and Managing Partner of CQ Legal and Consulting, Michael and Abner Richardson, founders of Destination Africa Group, Vanessa Jackson Kofi, director of Jackson and Co Designs, Cassandra Intiamo, owner of Prodigy Cooks, among others. President and CEO of Buba Enterprises, Denta Amwatin, said it is important that the diaspora occasionally meets various public sector departments to get first-hand information on doing business and living in Ghana, and to also interact with forerunners who have made this transition, listen to their stories, and know the reality versus the dream. That is the platform the Diaspora Transition Network has been offering through the Diaspora Conversations. Though making the effort to settle and do business in Ghana would represent some challenges, getting to know the right institution to approach would lessen the burden and make things smoother. It is also very crucial for the diaspora to be patient and be part of the solution to build Ghana as the country is still growing. The point is that things don't work rapidly as there is in Europe and the USA. And so we need to be patient with the system here to get the necessary results, said Denta Martin. Project lead of the Diaspora Transitions Network, Jennifer Jan Kofa, said diasporans need Ghanaians and Ghanaians need the diaspora. Considering the huge expertise of people from the diaspora, Ghana represents an opportunity to rekindle the zeal from such persons who wish to contribute to the country's development agenda. Dignitaries from various stakeholder institutions who participated at the engagement were Mr. Anissai Ban Intim, Office of Diaspora Affairs at the Presidency, Kate Thompson, Head of Consumer Banking of EcoBank, Mr. Kofi Addo, Head of One District, One Factory, Matilda Osei, Head of Client Service and Principal Company Inspector, Registrar General's Department, Mr. Joseph Popu, Chief Actuary of SNITS, Mr. James Kobina Datson, Acting Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, Mr. Dominic Nab, Assistant Commissioner of GRA, and Mr. Alex Wache, Director of Standards and Quality Assurance, Ghana Tourism Authority. Following this maiden event, Guba says there will be subsequent smaller events with individual key stakeholders for more in-depth understanding of how diasporans can connect and be supported. About the Diaspora Transition Network, the Diaspora Transition Network is a membership-based network for African diasporans and returnees of various heritage currently residing in Ghana. This network will be a community for information sharing, skills exchange, cultural awareness, and a space for doing and advertising business. Guta opposes benchmark value reduction, calls for dialogue with governments. The Ghana Union Traders Association has expressed its dissatisfaction with the implementation of the reversal of 50% benchmark value on imports. The reversal, which was announced by the Ghana Revenue Authority on Sunday, January 2nd, 2022, and took effect on Tuesday, January 4th, 2022, will affect 43 selected items, including rice, poultry, sugar, palm oil, toilet paper, mosquito coils, machetes, and vehicles. The president of Guta, Joseph Obey, on Eyewitness News, argued that the reversal was ill-timed. He said Guta is seeking to actively engage the government on the reversal given the adverse effects it will have on the association and other unions. The government has assured that they will have stakeholders' engagement, but that has not happened yet. We are still seeking dialogue with the government. The benchmark value did not come out of emptiness, it came out of a problem. So if you say you are reversing the benchmark policy, are you, the government, reversing as to that problem? Mr. Obin said. Despite Guta's opposition to the reversal, the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, has thrown its weight behind the government's move. The president-elect of the AGI, Humphrey Daki, said the reversal is vital in reviving Ghana's economy. He does ask the government to remain resolute in its decision. Our opposition from the very day this policy was introduced has been consistent. We stated and demonstrated by scientific research that the policy was a misalignment to the economic paradigm of the country. Benchmark came and brought about dislocation in the economic model. We think it is welcoming news that benchmark value has been reversed, and we urge the government to be bold to complete with its agenda of economic transformation. We ask the government not to budge on its decision. The government introduced the benchmark policy in 2019 in accordance with the World Customs Organization's policy of regular review of valuation databases. Under this policy, certain commodities are benchmarked to the prevailing world prices, such as a risk management tool, to reflect the true market dynamics of these commodities. It also takes into consideration factors such as protection of health, the environment, and security, as well as protection of local industries. Has government motivated you to advocate for E-levy? The Fiamakpo asked Kwesi Otin others. Member of Parliament for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamakpo, has expressed worry over the sudden crusade by some gospel artists on the need for the E-levy to be accepted. He wonders whether government has motivated them during this Christmas to drum home the need for the people of Ghana to accept the E-levy. He raises this concern because Kwesi Otin, in an interview, said development is expensive and it's therefore imperative that the government take measures to generate revenue to run the country. It's E-levy an avenue for revenue government can have. Me, if they deduct money on my Momo transactions, it makes me happy because I feel like I am contributing something. If money doesn't leave, how does money come to you? So I feel like I am contributing something to the country and it has nothing to do with politics, the gospel singer added. Also, Diana Samoa encouraged Ghanaians to accept the levy, explaining that in the Western world, such levies are used for development. If you go to a country like Italy, the toll is automatic. You will not see anyone there collecting tolls, but you are compelled to pay. You pay €10 on your going and the same on your return. Everything is taxed, she said. In Ghana, it is because some people have not traveled before. That is why they speak against tax paying and e-levy. If we were to explain the importance and the need to pay the e-levy, it would bring great developments. People would get jobs to do, and Ghana would have been so beautiful, she concluded. Following these positions expressed by top musicians in the country, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamapo explains their action is as a result of some motivation from government. In a tweet, he said, suddenly, some notable gospel musicians and pastors have become the lead advocates for e-levy in Ghana. Is it that they have been motivated by governments during the Xmas season, or they are truly speaking the voice of God? The e-levy was introduced to Parliament when the Finance Minister presented the 2022 budget. Since it was introduced, Ghanaians have kicked against its implementation, and this has been backed by the minority in the Parliament. Parliament could not pass it into law because of the opposition it faced from the minority in Parliament. It is expected to be tabled when Parliament sits in 2022, but the minority have vowed to ensure that it does not become law. Importers to sue GRA over reversal of benchmark value. The Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awimpo, has said he would sue the government over the reversal of the 50% benchmark on value of imports if the Ghana Revenue Authority does not stop the move. He told 3FM's Napo Ali Hussein in, in an interview on Wednesday, January 5th, that the reversal smacks of illegality, for which he is calling on the GRA to stop. This benchmark value issue has to be dealt with the legal way because this benchmark value issue is illegal on its own. You cannot say you have created a data trade price somewhere that nobody knows how and the manner you are getting the price data, he said. Asked soon, he will be going to court. He said, I don't think it is right anywhere in the world. For now, we say they should suspend it. If they don't, we will take it up from there. The reversal affects 143 items and the three categories prescribed by the Ghana Revenue Authority. The benchmark value, which is the amount taxable on imports, was reduced by 50% for some goods. The government had hoped that this was going to scale up the volume of transactions of made Ghana ports competitive. The government decided to reverse this. The government decided to reverse this decision after it met opposition from the Association of Ghana Industries and the Ghana Union of Traders Association. This was rejected by the Import and Exports Association of Ghana. The said association said this decision would be detrimental to the business community if it is not stopped immediately. According to the Imports and Exports Association of Ghana, it will also lead to many businesses losing their cargoes since importers would have to pay more outside their budgets, even at this crucial time at the beginning of the new year. A statement signed by their executive secretary, Samson Asaki Awintori, said on Tuesday, January 4th, that the position taken by government and by extension the Ghana Revenue Authority on this matter would be detrimental to the business community if it is not reversed immediately. It would lead to many businesses losing their cargoes since importers would have to pay more outside their budgets, even at this crucial time at the beginning of the new year. In the very likely event that such importers are not able to raise the additional funds to clear their goods on time, issues of uncleared goods list UCL would pop up and huge losses to demurrage would set in. Therefore, the Imports and Exports Association of Ghana is calling on the government, and for that matter, the GRA, to withdraw this directive with immediate effect. The said association demands that such importers be given at least 14 working days to clear their already cleared goods from the ports without the new 50% benchmark values. Mr. Awintobe further revealed that he will sue the government if it doesn't alter the reversal. Pandai Hospital OPD nurses resume work after alleged attack on colleague. Nurses at the outpatient department of the Pandai Hospital in the northern region have resumed work after they laid down their tools on Monday following an assault on one of their colleagues by a customs officer. They are, however, retreating their calls for improved security for the nurses in the OPDs. The customs officer is said to have assaulted the nurse after she asked him to park his car in an orderly fashion. In an interview with City News, one of the nurses at the OPD department, Cynthia Akusia Akumaze, said the nurses are still worried about their safety. The case has been sent to the police, so the police are handling it, and we have been advised to start work so that we will help the people in the community. But for us, the nurses, security is our priority now. This is not the first or second incident. It has happened more than 5 times, Mrs. Akumaze said. They, the OPD nurses, are the first point of contact. So if they are not safe, anything can happen to those in the ward. Mrs. Akumaze said the nurse who was attacked was recovering from the ordeal. She is still under treatment because she can't walk well. She has been limping. Kumasi to get 100 kilometers outer ring road projects, Osei Manso. The Minister for Parliamentary Affairs, Osei Manso, has revealed that the government plans to construct a 100-kilometer outer ring road for people in the Ashanti region. Speaking in an interview on Otek FM's morning show, dubbed Nyansapo, the Swami constituency lawmaker told host Captain Koda that the move is to ease vehicular and human traffic in the inner parts of Kumasi and its environs. He said the government already had plans to construct about 4 new interchanges within the Kumasi inner ring roads, but it has become necessary for another 100-kilometer outer ring road for the people of Kumasi and Ashanti. He noted that the said road would cover the boundaries of Greater Kumasi to connect Ejoso to other parts like Mamponting and Anyankwanta. He, however, added the government had made plans to construct a 4-lane carriageway to all entry and exiting points in Kumasi and Ashanti. Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta has disclosed that 5 interchanges will be constructed in the Greater Kumasi metropolitan area. Delivering the 2022 budget in Parliament on Wednesday, November 17, 2021, he mentioned some of the areas where the interchanges will be built as Swami, Santase, and airport runabout. Throwing some Throwing more light on the projects, Osei Mensah emphasized 5 major 4-tier interchanges in Kumasi metropolis. This includes the Kwaya Runabout Interchange, which is awarded to contract, Oforikrom Interchange, of which feasibility studies are completed and detailed designs and financing options undertaken. Others are Swami Interchange, Ahoja Roundabout Interchange, and Santasi Roundabout Interchange. Osei Cheng Mensah said some asphalting projects within the region had been completed. He mentioned a 26-kilometer asphalt overlay of a selected road in Swami and Tafo Metro, where 23.09 kilometers is completed. Also, asphalting overlay road in Subin, Kwadaso, Bantima, Manshia, Furikrum, Aprik Izema are all underway, while significant kilometers is completed. Several ongoing upgrading projects include Bekwaye Town roads, selected roads in Ashanti Bekwaye, Donyina Town, Anwomaso Town, Domiabra Town, and Akromaze Esilienpong Achina Town roads, and upgrading of Central University campus, Kumasi campus area roads. However, some critical roads have been given attention. This includes rehabilitation of Kumasi Sunyani Road, Mankransu to Tepa Junction, 40 kilometers, upgrading of Kwadaso Terabom Road, 30 kilometers, Mamponkufiasi Road. The majority leader assured Ashantis that this second term of office would focus much on many developments in the region. I will not joke with Ashanti this time regarding their roads. Where your treasure is, there will be your heart also, he assured. Mahama's brother laid to rest. The late Emmanuel Adam Mahama, a brother of former President John Dramani Mahama, has been laid to rest in Bole in the Savannah region. Sunday's burial coincided with the third day of Adua. Former President Mahama and his siblings, as well as immediate and extended family members of the deceased, accompanied the body from Accra for the burial, which was attended by chiefs, elders, family, and people of Bole and surrounding communities. Also, in Bole to mourn with the family were the chairperson of the Council of Elders of National Democratic Congress, Alhaji Mahama Idris, and DC National Vice Chairman, Alhaji Sofo Azoka. Leading members of the NDC, including Alhaji Wudu Yahya, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu, Regional Chairman of the NDC, Members of Parliament, friends, and acquaintances of the deceased and his siblings, among many others. The family will be announcing the date for the funeral for the 61-year-old Emmanuel Adam Mahama in the next few days. Man, 34, arrested for setting relative's house ablaze. A 34-year-old farmer, Gosway Jomeku, has been arrested by the police in Ho for setting ablaze his aunt's two-bedroom house at Sokode Eto, a community in the Ho municipality of the Volta region. According to a statement from the police, on Sunday, January 2nd, 2021, police received a complaint that the suspect had set a two-bedroom self-contained house ablaze at Sokwode Eto near home. Police visited the scene and found two rooms burned together with other personal effects, the statement added. The suspect was subsequently arrested at the Whole Lorry station upon a tip-off. He is said to have confessed to the police that his aunt promised to give him one of the rooms but later rented it out. The suspect is also said to have gone to steal an amount of 500 Ghana cedis and a mattress from the tenant's room on the day of the incident before setting the house ablaze to cover up for his deeds. He has since been in custody, assisting police investigations, and will be put before a court. MTN Ghana reopens its service centers to customers. MTN Ghana has today announced the reopening of its service centers across the country. The Ashaiman, Accra Mall, East Legon, and Ishiayasu Kumasi offices, however, remain closed until further notice. Commenting on the reopening of the service centers, the Chief Customer Relations Officer of MTN, Mrs. Jemima Cote Walsh, expressed her appreciation to all customers for heeding the call to use the digital channels during the service center closures. She wished customers a happy new year and cautioned that since the COVID-19 pandemic is still prevailing, MTN will continue to ensure strict adherence to the health and safety protocols to safeguard customers and staff at the service centers. MTN will, however, continue to serve customers who contact them on its enhanced digital channels via Twitter at MTN Ghana or at Ask MTN Ghana, Facebook MTN Ghana, and their WhatsApp number, which is 0554 300,000 or call 100. In addition to these channels, field teams made up of retail vendors and Momo agents across the country will be operating and will provide additional support. To avoid congestion at the MTN service centers, customers are advised to visit any of these registration points. MTN Connect stores, distributor branches, light retail stores, or MTN agents touch points for SIM registration. Customers are encouraged to be vigilant and not entertain any calls purporting to be from any of MTN offices to provide any assistance. When in doubt, you can call 100. MTN Ghana encourages everyone to continue to observe the COVID-19 protocols outlined by the Ghana Health Service. MPP begged us used trickery to select deputy speakers in Parliament, Esiedun Ketia. The National Democratic Congress is accusing the governing New Patriotic Party of double dealing in the election of both the first and second deputy speakers of Parliament. General Secretary of the party, Johnson Asiedu Inketia, who has opened up on how Speaker Alban Bagben's deputies were elected, said although the MPP had pleaded with the NDC parliamentarians for those two choices to be made, the governing party deployed trickery despite the NDC's good faith and interest in the country's parliamentary democracy. Mr. Inketia said this was evident in the utterances of the majority leader, Seiche Mensa Bonsu, moments after the selection of Alban Bagbin as Speaker. Speaking at the 40th anniversary commemoration of the 31st December Revolution in Accra last Friday, the NDC's chief scribe mentioned that they allowed the MPP to have its way to build consensus and maintain peace in the country. The leadership of MPP came to Parliament and actually came to beg us to allow them to select a first deputy speaker. And in the end, word was sent from the presidency that they are also begging. So we agreed. Still, they persisted and virtually begged us that they do not want to disgrace Ghana. NDC does not want this country destroyed. So we agreed. Immediately we agreed, the first statement that came from Osei Mensa after the swearing in was that we begged them and that there was no election in Parliament to select a first deputy speaker. Those of you accusing NDC of not being interested in negotiations should listen carefully. As if that was not enough, immediately after the second deputy speaker was elected, he also addressed the press and declared his support for the NPP. What does that mean? It meant that the NPP used trickery to select the two deputy speakers. The tied Speaker of Parliament race in January 2021. The tied Speaker of Parliament race in January 2021 saw Mr. Backman winning the election by 2 votes against former Speaker, Professor Aaron Michael Gray. The outcome of that election remains a major shock to the New Patriotic Party, which had wanted to consolidate its grip on power by securing majority representation in Parliament and getting its proposed Speaker of Parliament nominee, Professor Okoye, maintained. Following that keenly contested election that was characterized by several controversial events that lasted several hours, many feared that they may be calls for separate elections to be conducted for the first and second deputy speakers instead of them being handpicked as has been done in the past. However, a crunch meeting with the leadership of the NDC and NPP in Parliament, as well as General Secretaries of the NBC and NPP in attendance, concluded that the choir MP, Joseph Osei Owusu, and Fomena MP, Andrews Amwako Esiama, be selected as first and second deputy speakers, respectively. The NPP side proposed one of its members, Joseph Osei Owusu, while the NDC side selected Andrews Amwako who is an independent candidate. Both sides agreed to the proposals. Obuasi, popular half-pennies rupees dead after attack. 25-year-old Emmanuel Akon, who was hacked by some unknown assailants on Monday, December 27, 2021, has died. The police have revealed the now deceased was attacked a night after being involved in gambling. In his last moments, he revealed his assailants as disgruntled gang he had defeated in a gamble. DSP Martin Asensu told Accra FM on Tuesday, January 4th. He, however, could not disclose the full identity of his attackers, according to the police. He told us his assailants were supposed to pay him after winning the gamble, but they failed only to attack him. He is now dead, and we have duly informed his family, DSP Asenso recounted. Emmanuel Akon dominated headlines in November 2020 after his penis was bitten by a lady in an attempted rape. He was billed by an Obuasi court in November last year, but was in police custody waiting to meet the bail conditions. He was attacked a week after meeting the bail condition. Over 50 police personnel came to my church on 31st night, Nigel Gazy. Leader of the Prophetic Hill Chapel, Prophet Nigel Gazy, has revealed that the state deployed over 50 personnel from the Ghana Police Service to his church premises on December 31st during the Watch Night service. He believes that the move was to intimidate him, especially after a directive by the police warned religious leaders against delivering prophecies that create fear and panic. Speaking in an interview monitored by Ghana Web on Kofi TV, the popular preacher noted that he was not moved by the harsh treatment but instead went ahead to deliver God's message to his people in a figurative speech. We are discouraging prophecy. As a young boy, I saw my father prophesying. Pastor Opoku Insia prophesied, and I admired and desired it. On Friday, December 31st, over 50 to 60 police personnel were deployed to my church. Why am I an armed robber? I will be paid if I am arrested for stealing, but if it is for mentioning the name of Jesus, whom I have served since I was young, whatever I am is by the mercies of God and his ways. Therefore, if I am arrested for preaching the word of God, the one that sent me has a way of seeing me through. I wasn't afraid to prophesy on 31st night. I am not one of the cows, he said. The presenter, Kofi Adoma, questioned Prophet Gazy on why he extensively made mention of homophobia, which many have stated is synonymous to Ghana during his prophetic ministration. He wondered whether this was done out of fear of being picked up by the police. The preacher explained, wisdom demands that when the times are changing, you also change. Jesus spoke in figurative expression. When Nathan spoke to the king, he didn't go straight away. He spoke in figurative expression, but the content and the substance was delivered. What the Lord wanted to say to the nations of the world, whether Ghana, Omofia, Nigeria, Kampala was heard. So I am not a coward. You can't carry the Spirit of God and be a coward, he said. Also addressing the heavy security presence at his chapel, the man of God noted that he was taken by surprise. Never before has he encountered a large number of police officers at any church event. We didn't invite them. I have organized several 31st nights. This is the first time we had about 50 to 60 policemen and women. They came with their cars. Is my church a stadium? Even with a stadium, how many of them were assigned to go there? When the state is doing that, it is intimidation, he noted. Police must prosecute soldier who fired AK-47 at ANC Mall. The Bureau for Public Safety says the military officer captured on video discharging a firearm at the ANC Mall should be handed over to the Ghana Police Service for interrogation and prosecution. According to the chief of party of the Bureau, Nanayao Akwada, the nature of the conduct and the investigation should be dealt with by a competent court of jurisdiction and not through the internal disciplinary procedure of the Ghana Armed Forces. Speaking to City News, Nanayao Akwada said the suspect should be dealt with according to law. He insisted that the suspect fired the shot in a public space and wasn't on any official assignment. While we are happy about his arrest, we expect the said gentleman to be in the custody of the police because at the time of the incident, the guy was not in uniform and also did that in a public space. And we are told whether he was or and we are told and we are not told whether he was on any assignment. So to that extent, we don't know why he should be handed over to the GAF for internal action. This gentleman should rather be in the custody of the police for prosecution. He also questioned the circumstances under which a serving militaryman had access to a firearm, though not an official assignment. According to Nana Yawakwada, the trend, if not checked, could result in 7 security personnel using official weapons for criminal activities. Considering the violent crimes that we are witnessing, we should not take incidences such as this lightly. How come the gentleman was wearing a mufti and yet had an AK-47 assault rifle on him? The suspect, Flight Sergeant Nicholas Owusu Frimpong, was arrested on Monday, January 3rd, 2022. Police said the arrest was done in collaboration with the military police. Public sector workers to enjoy 7% rise in base pay by Employment Minister. The Employment and Labor Relations Minister, Ignatius Bafuewa, has announced a 7% increment in the base pay of public sector workers for the year 2022. Ignatius Bafuewa said the 4% increment, which was announced earlier in 2021, will be increased to 7%. Speaking at the 90th anniversary ceremony of the Ghana National Association of Teachers in Kumasi, Ignatius Bafuewa said the increment will take immediate effect. In return, we had to negotiate with the leadership of organized labor, and in the process, we had to agree that we had to be modest in our request in the national treaty. The beautiful thing is that we are moving on, and we had agreed that coming into this current year, the 4% will no longer exist, and thus we are going to give workers 7%, which is an increment. It is my hope and belief that things begin to work better for the economy of our country, so we can give our workforce a better remuneration we can actually be proud of, Mr. Ewa said. In 2021, the Trade Union Congress agreed on the base pay increments for public sector workers as part of labor negotiations with the government. However, after the agreement, some members of the labor unions expressed their disappointment at the percentage increase, saying it was too small. A coalition made up of public sector workers thus protested in 2021 to express their anger and demand an upward review of public sector salaries. They insisted that the 4 and 7% increment is woefully inadequate for their survival, considering the current economic hardship. On Wednesday, August 18, 2021, a similar demonstration was held by the group in Accra to drum home their demands against the base pay increase. The group lamented that the leadership of TUC, which is supposed to seek the interests of Ghanaian workers, had rather become a mouthpiece for the government. They called for public sector salaries to be increased by 25% instead. Bright Simon's reaction to Salifu Amwanko's prophecy that economy will grow by 7%. Honorary Vice President of Imani Africa, Bright Simons, has reacted to a prophecy given by the leader and founder of Alive Chapel International, Archbishop-elect Elisha Salifu Amwakon, that Ghana's economy will grow by 7% in the year 2022. Ghana's economy grew 6.6% in the third quarter of 2021. The Statistical Statistics Service said this made it the fastest growth in gross domestic product since the COVID-19 pandemic began. That 6.6% growth rate that we recorded for the third quarter of 2021 is the closest we've got to the pre-2020 period, when COVID was just about to set in, said government statistician Samuel Kobina Enim on Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. This growth rate that we recorded is edging us closer to the GDP growth rate that we recorded during the pre-COVID-19 era, keeping in mind that we did record a 9% growth rate in the first quarter of 2019, he added. As part of his prophecies during the 31st night service, Bishop Salifu Amwakon was reported to have said, "I see it raining in Ghana. The Lord said it is year of Ghana's prosperity. I see a light moving on the continent of Africa. It eventually came to settle on Ghana. This year, all nations' presidents, big men shall visit Ghana, and Ghana's economy this year shall grow. It shall be better than last year. It will grow by 6 to 7%. This year, finance of those who complain will heave a sigh of relief." Reacting to this news in a tweet, Bright Simmons, who is also founder of M Pedigree, said Ghana Statistical Service clearly has a harder task ahead, justifying multi-million dollar multi-year projects, budgets like the $170 million 2018 to 2021, given the emergence of formidable alternatives. Teachers to be given home owning retirement packages by Nana Akufo-Addo. Through a subsidized loan program, Ghanaian teachers are to be provided an opportunity to own houses in desired locations across the country, President Akufo-Addo has announced. The president said the government is targeting to develop 10,000 housing units for teachers across the country in the next 2 years. He was speaking at the 6th Quadrennial and 53rd National Delegates Conference of the Ghana National Association of Teachers in the Ashanti region. He said the move is part of the government's plans to provide affordable housing for the teachers. This is to be done through mortgage and rental to address the challenges of accommodation faced by the teachers. Through a subsidized loan program, teachers would be provided an opportunity to own houses in desired locations in various parts of the country. I am fully aware that one of the challenges facing the teacher is the ownership of homes. Beyond the finance is their inability to purchase homes where they intend to retire. Within the next 2 years, it is proposed that 10,000 housing units on affordable terms will be developed for teachers across the country, he added. The president also talks the president also said talks are already ongoing among the ministries of education and the works in housing, teacher unions, and the national service scheme on it. President Nana Akufo-Addo has promised to address all outstanding issues surrounding the One Teacher, One Laptop initiative. Some teacher unions and stakeholders in the country's education sector have raised concerns about the initiative, which will provide laptops to teachers in Ghana on a cost-sharing basis. I am glad to hear how much you welcomed the supply of the laptops. I promise you that and the other related matters of concern will be addressed. The relationship between NAT and my government is a matter of concern to me, and I will do my very best to promote such a relationship. Tewu defies Otunfo's appeal, serves notice to withdraw service on Wednesday. Over 35,000 members of the Teachers and Education Workers Union will withdraw their services from tomorrow, despite the plea by Otunfo Osei to the second for unions to use dialogue to resolve its concerns and not strike. The members are withdrawing their services to demand the payment of 600 cedis each professional development allowance. At a news conference in Accra on Tuesday, January 4th, General Secretary of TIL, Mark Dintra said, though the schools are reopening tomorrow, there will not be teachers to cook for the students. We went to the Ministry of Education. We have written and given all the justifications that is required. The minister said we should liaise with the Ghana Education Service Management. We are. We have engaged them. In fact, in the wisdom of the management of GES, they said, let us put together a technical committee to look at the issues and give appropriate recommendations. This was supposed to have been completed in September last year. We are in January 2022. The committee has not even met, let alone to make a recommendations for its consideration. So we feel that this feet dragging is on purpose, maybe to deny our members of this right, and that this is why we think that we must push and move to the next step, where that one will compel management to set and conclude any discussion with us on this matter. The Asante Hene Otunfo Osei to the second has tasked teachers to adopt an improved way of negotiation rather than resorting to strike whenever their concerns are not addressed. He argued that school children are the ones who face the consequences of such actions and not politicians. He was addressing members of the Ghana National Association of Teachers at their 6th quadrennial National Delegates Conference. On several occasions, teachers resort to industrial action when government fails to address their grievances. This, they claim, is the only and effective language government understands. But the Asante said, obviously, those who really suffer are the innocent children. I urge you all to focus your minds on the need for an improved way for negotiations and consultations, which will minimize, if not eliminate, any recourse to industrial action and the harmful consequences on our children. He also urged policymakers to work to ensure that the conditions of teachers are improved. While we will always urge moderation in the face of national economic realities, we will nonetheless urge policymakers to ensure that the status of our teachers truly reflects the level of importance we attach to their place in society, he said. Regarding this, the TAU General Secretary said, the Otunfo rightly appealed that dialogue and consensus building is what we need. We have given all these opportunities we wrote to GES. They responded and invited us to a meeting. They said, let's form a technical committee, and it has taken already 4 months without the first meeting. We think that if we don't take the necessary steps, our members' minds, our members' rights will be trampled upon, and it is not right to do so. So that is why we have come to this end. The hardship is real unless you live on a different planet. Okaikwe North MP laments. The Member of Parliament for Okaikwe North, Theresa Ladi Awuni, has stated that the year 2022 will be a difficult one for people in the country. She explained that this is because of the untold hardships that have been brought on the citizenry as a result of the bad decisions and leadership flaws of the ruling government led by the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Speaking with Ghana Web on the back of conversations surrounding the 2022 budget and other related bills in the budget, the National Democratic Congress MP said it is time their colleagues on the other side of the parliament paid attention to the cries of Ghanaians. We must get serious because we cannot hold the nation to ransom. And so we expect that the majority will do their part. So we do our part. They must listen to the cries of Ghanaians, she said. Teresa Awuni also said that going around markets, it has become clear that the country is in very difficult times, adding that she is optimistic this will translate into a difficult 2022. The hardship out there is real, unless maybe you live on a different planet. But if you are in Ghana with us, if you go to the same market with us, if you send more than 50 cities and 100 cities to your family like us, you will feel it. The hardship is real there. We are here to represent the people, and we telling the majority that they should listen to the cries of the Ghanaians out there. I foresee a very difficult and challenging 2022 because of the budgets the NPP is imposing on us. The kind of hardship the NPP is imposing on us, I know 2022 is going to be difficult, but by the special grace of God, we shall overcome, she said. Before its recess in December 2021, Parliament had been debating aspects of the 2022 budget statement and economic policy as presented to the House by the Minister of Finance, Ken Oforiatta. Among the debates has been the highly controversial 1.75% electronic levy, which has so far been rejected. We will strive to get economy. We will strive to get the economy back on track this year. The Vice President, Dr. Mahama Bawumia, has said the government is committed to ensuring a turnaround of the economy this year, 2022. Dr. Bawumia said through Ghana's economy has been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, things will normalize. According to him, the government will do whatever it can to bring back the economy from the shackles of the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking at a meeting with some Muslim leaders in Accra, Dr. Bawumia said 2022 will be better for Ghanaians. In the coming year, we will continue to strive to get the economy back on track from the shackles of COVID-19. We are also committed to our inclusive governance of the past 5 years, which has seen us invest in education and other sectors of the country. Challenges with the economy had always been contentious, as some Ghanaians complained of undue hardships. However, the government in the 2022 budget statement and economic policy promised to avert the situation. The ranking member on the Finance Committee of Parliament, Dr. Kashil Atuforsen, has earlier asked Ghanaians to brace themselves up for more economic difficulties this year. In a 6 bullet points on Facebook, Dr. Forsen, who is also the Member of Parliament for the Ejumako Inyan Isiam constituency, among other things said, folks, we need to brace up for more hardship this year. He predicted that there would be at least 30% increase in general goods, while the Ghanaian cedi will hit 7 cedis to a dollar by the end of the year 2022. A Deputy Finance Minister, Dr. John Kumar, subsequently criticized the negative outlook of the economy predicted by Dr. Folsom. In a statement on Facebook, the Deputy Minister insisted that Dr. Folson's predictions were not supported by data. It is unfathomable to think that a former Deputy Minister of Finance could be this pessimistic, speculative, and propagandist on important issues concerning the economy of Ghana. We will vehemently resist attempts to suppress, victimize us, North for Alan members. Members of the North for Alan, a group affiliated to Trade Minister Alan Shermartin, have registered what they call their strongest protest at the selective application of party rules and sanctions ahead of the new Patriotic Party flag bearership race. The group called on the regional and national leadership of the party to create an even playing field for all interested party members. Unity and fairness to all is what will guarantee the MPP a chance to break the eights, not selective application of the rules as is happening now. We wish to state categorically that if some people have the right to declare support for the vice presidents and other aspirants, then we who believe that the leadership of Honorable Alan John Shermartin also have an equal right to express our preference without any fear. The NPP is a democratic party that believes in and upholds alternative views, tolerance, and choice based on free will. We will vehemently resist all attempts to suppress, victimize, and intimidate patients who show support for Honorable Alan Shermartin. It is crystal clear the overwhelming masses of the NPP is poised and eagerly ready to give the mandate of this party to Honorable Alan Shermartin, and inshallah, nothing can stop that. We thank you for honoring our invitation in this short notice. A press statement they issued on Wednesday, January 5th, after addressing the press said, "You don't believe in prophecies, yet you read palms, check horoscope." Sam George. Ningo Pram Pram lawmaker Samuel Nati George has questioned persons who are against prophecies, yet they check horoscope and read palms, sharing his thoughts on the caution that was given by the Ghana police against the publication of negative prophecies. Sam George said in a tweet that as a way of bringing sanity, we can start by ensuring all churches are properly registered with the Registrar General. As part of their regularization process would be evidence of membership of one of the recognized Christian organizations. Let us place the mandates of the regulation with the umbrella bodies and empower them to effect the sanctions in conjunction with the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs. As for those saying prophecies is bad, yet you are checking your horoscopes and reading your palms or visiting that marabout or fetish priest, you are as guilty as the prophets you criticize. The police have cautioned religious leaders in Ghana to be measured in their utterances, particularly the way they communicate prophecies ahead of New Year's Eve services. We want to caution that under Ghanaian law, it is a crime for a person to publish or reproduce a statement, rumor, or report which is likely to cause fear and alarm to the public or to disturb the public peace, where that person has no evidence to prove that the statement, rumor, or report is true. The police warned in a statement issued on Monday, December 27, 2021. It is also a crime for a person, by means of electronic communication service, to knowingly send a communication that is false or misleading and likely to prejudice the efficiency of life-saving service or to endanger the safety of any person. The statement signed by Superintendent Alexander Obeng, the Director of Public Affairs of the Ghana Police Service, added, a person found guilty under these laws could be liable to a term of imprisonment of up to 5 years. Friday's services across the nation was the first since Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufudampare, took office. He had met religious leaders over prophecies deemed to cause fear and panic in the nation. That meeting was precipitated. That meeting was precipitated by a fake gun attack on popular musician Shatawale, who had later indicated he took that action as a result of a prophecy by the founder and leader of New Life Kingdom Chapel, Bishop Stephen Kwesi on an Accra-based radio station before the Monday, October 18 incident. The man of God, popularly known as Jesus Ahmofe, was arrested and later granted a 100,000 Ghana cedis bail. The police admitted that they are not against prophecies, especially in a country where the centrality of God is in the lives of many. There should be no apprehensions, therefore, about undertaking the various activities. We ask only that everyone keeps within the law and is mindful of the welfare of each other. This development raised concerns among some clergymen, including the founder and leader of Glorious Word Power Ministry International, Prophet Isaac Owusu-Bempah. Mr. Owusu-Bempah believes that the IGP issued the order against the publication of the death prophecies following briefing he received from pastors who do not believe in prophetic ministry. He further appealed to the Inspector General of Police, COP Dr. George Akufudampare, to invite them who are men of God who believe in prophecies to give him what he calls satisfactory briefing on prophetic ministry. Reverend Isaac Owusu-Bempah said during his 31st night preaching on Friday, December 31st, that I would like to appeal to the IGP that if he needs briefings in the prophetic ministry, he should invite some of us, not pastors who do not believe in prophecies.